Right now, I'm holding the Samsung S25 Ultra, 1-year-old flagship from Samsung. In today's second-hand market, you can find this device at around $700 to $800, which makes this phone a very good deal in terms of its design, performance, camera, and overall user experiences. I have been using this device for the last 3 months as my secondary Android device, and to be honest, I was convinced with the performance of this particular device. Mostly I use this phone as my business phone, so all the time I have been using it for my business calls and for my business message inquiries and also for emails. But I haven't used it for camera that much because in terms of camera I have always used my 17 Pro Max. But today in this video I'm going to share my entire experience with the S25 Ultra and I'm going to tell you whether you should consider buying this phone in 2026 or not. I chose this phone for its design. It has a very good build quality as well. As it's a flagship device from Samsung, so Samsung has tried to give their best in this phone. After holding the phone, the first thing you will notice is the build quality of this device, how good the engineering was while making this phone. I also appreciated that because the design looks really classy, simple, and looks pretty elegant in my opinion. From the back, it has a glass back which is a flat design, and on the sides it has titanium frame, and for this device has got an incredible durability. We know Samsung phones are pretty famous for having better displays, so S25 Ultra has a wonderful display on its front. It has a 6.9-inch dynamic LTPO AMOLED 2x 120Hz HDR10 supported display. The bezels are incredibly narrow on the sides of this device, and you can see the front-facing camera is implemented here, which takes a very small space in the display. For protection, they have used Corning Gorilla Glass Armor 2, and this phone has anti-reflective coating on the screen, which is why you will see that it reflects less light when you are outside. My experience with this display was top-notch. Seriously speaking, this display felt really good. While using social media, while watching content, it performed just great. There were not a single touch issue with the display, and there were not a single color accuracy problem. Like any content you see, you will pretty much enjoy it watching in this particular display. As a chipset, this phone has used a Snapdragon 8 Elite 3nm chipset, which is definitely a flagship chipset for the last year's phones. And no wonder this chipset will perform for the upcoming 4 to 5 years without any hassle at all. Samsung has optimized their operating system with the chipset very well, and that's why we get the best performance out of this device. Like for heavy users, this phone performs really well. I consider myself as a heavy user. I have been using this device at its best, and I have never faced any issues in terms of performance of this device. The Samsung S25 Ultra has 4 cameras in the back. The main camera sensor is a 200 megapixel camera sensor, the aperture is 1.7, and it can take 24mm pictures. There is a 10 megapixel telephoto camera sensor here, the aperture is 2.4, and you can take 67mm focal length picture with this camera sensor. There is another periscope telephoto camera sensor, which is a 50 megapixel camera sensor, and the aperture is 3.4, and it starts at 5x optical zoom, which is 111mm focal length. There is also an ultra wide camera sensor, which is a 50 megapixel camera sensor. The aperture is 1.9, and it can take 120-degree ultra wide pictures. The pictures came out really nice in the S25 Ultra, but in most cases we have seen there are lack in details. যেমন আমি আপনাদেরকে যদি মেইন ক্যামেরা সেন্সরের ছবিগুলো দেখাই, আপনারা দেখবেন যে একদম টিপিক্যাল স্যামসাং টাইপ একটা কালার টোন নিয়ে এসেছে প্রত্যেকটা ছবিতে, যেখানে কালারসের প্রেজেন্স গুলো বেশ ভালোই আছে বলা যায়। তবে কিছু ক্ষেত্রে একটু ফেডেড লাগবে আপনার কাছে। তবে এই ছবিগুলোই আপনি যদি একটু কালার এডিট করে নেন তাহলে কিন্তু আবার বেশ ভালো লাগার কথা আপনার কাছে। We have taken so many pictures with this phone. The main camera sensor takes really good photos, where the dynamic range isn't that bad. And the colors are also popping really nice, but sometimes the colors might look a bit faded in these pictures. But if you change the colors a bit, if you edit it, then I think you can go with it. If you go to the camera app, you can see like there are a lot of focal length options, like you can shoot photos in 0.5x and you can take it up to maximum 100x. But I personally am a fan of the 3x telephoto camera sensor that it has, which is a 10 megapixel camera sensor, because all the portrait pictures that I have taken with this 3x came out really good. And whenever I plan to take portrait pictures with this, I definitely go to the 3x portrait. But you can also take portrait in 5x with the periscope telephoto camera sensor, and those portraits are also very good. And also the 10x pictures are really nice in this phone. Like whatever the pictures that we have taken came out like a raw picture that you can actually edit, and you can upscale the pictures if you really want to make the resolution a bit better. Where we see that phones like Oppo, Vivo, Xiaomi does it by itself, which sometimes makes us feel irritated because not all the time we want our AI pictures, right? So in that terms, I have seen that Samsung produces raw pictures that we can edit and use it just the way we want. While shooting videos, you can shoot 8K videos in 30 FPS with this phone, and you can also shoot 4K videos at 60 FPS. The videos are not that good as an iPhone, but still the videos aren't bad, I must say. The best thing that I like about this phone in videography is definitely the ultra zoom feature. Like with the periscope telephoto camera sensor, we can go up to 20x in video mode, which is fascinating, and you can shoot videos from a very large distance. So in the end, I must say that Samsung's camera will not disappoint you, but it might not impress you as well. The camera is pretty normal to me. Like in today's standard, there are better camera phones out there, but I know that people who are considering buying this phone will not really buy it only for cameras, because they know that Samsung cameras are not very good. So we have talked about the performance, the display, and the design. So the last major thing that has remained is definitely the battery. And the battery is perfect for a normal user, but it wasn't good enough for a heavy user like me. It has only a 5000 milliampere battery, and it can last for a day only if you are a normal user. But if you are a heavy user like who has been using a smartphone in a day for almost 10 hours, then I think this phone cannot survive. So in the end, I gotta say, this phone is full of features. It has a lot of AI features that can be very useful in everyday life. And with the beautiful design, fantastic look, and a beautiful display on the front, decent cameras, this phone can be a perfect choice in $800 budget from a used second-hand market. In this budget, you can definitely go for some other Android flagship phones from last year, but trust me, the way you can enjoy using a Samsung phone, you can never have this fun on a Vivo or a Oppo phone. Those phones will provide you a different experience where you might get a better camera, but the Chinese ROM UI or maybe the global ROM or the build quality of those phones will not really match with a Samsung S25 Ultra. So in my opinion, you can go for the Samsung S25 Ultra. I know it doesn't have that privacy screen feature like the S26 Ultra, but I believe that most of you do not care about this feature at all, because you can literally install a privacy screen protector at just $20 or maybe $30 if you can find one. So thank you very much for watching. See you guys at the next video. Bye.